Hey there, drone fans. Rick here again from Drone Valley. In today's clip, I'd like to show you a few new accessories that we've been testing for the last couple of weeks for the DJI Pocket 2. Now, anytime a new product like the Pocket 2 is released, all the accessory manufacturers sit down and start designing a ton of accessories that they think you're going to need. And honestly, a lot of them are very functional, but there's a ton of stuff out there that looks really good on a website. You'll buy it, bring it home, you'll use it once or twice, and it ends up in a junk drawer. So what we like to do is anytime we get a new product here in the shop, we'll go out and look at all the manufacturers' accessories that are out there. We'll buy a bunch of them, we'll bring them in, and then we'll use them for a couple of weeks in the field. And we get to decide, is that something that I'm really going to put in my kit and take with me every time? Or after a couple of uses, is it something that ends up on the shelf? So what I've got here today are three products that I'm going to call protection products because we're in the middle of the winter here in the Northeast, and I take this Pocket 2 with me everywhere. And I want to make sure when I'm out in the field recording, number one, that I've got everything I need for that day's recording. But number two, I want it organized. I want to protect it. I want to make sure the Pocket 2 is going to make it home safe and not be damaged when I'm out there in the field recording. So the three accessories I've got today, I'm going to call sort of protection accessories, and I'll start with the case. Now, the Pocket 2 is an incredibly durable product if you keep it in its case, but the challenge is it's small, you can slide it in your pocket, but bringing all the accessories along with you is a bit of a hassle. Now, you could certainly use like a small bag or something and slide them in there or throw them in your backpack, but I can tell you, after a couple of months of using this product, if you do that, you're always going to be searching for something in the bottom of your backpack. So I was looking for a really small, durable case that I could take with me that would carry everything that wasn't gigantic. So this is something I bring with me all the time. It's a crush-proof case. It's got weather resistance on the outside, so you can get it wet, you can wipe it off, you can drop it in the dirt, you can wipe it off with a damp cloth. It's got a really nice little loop here you can put on a carabiner on your backpack, heavy-duty zipper on the top of it. But the best part is inside, they've got these soft pockets that are lined that are cutouts for everything you need for your Pocket 2. So it's got a spot down here for the Pocket 2 in its case. It's got a spot for the tripod, for the base with the quarter-inch turn attachment to it, for the wireless microphone, for the lapel mic, and also for the little joystick. And then up top, I've got another pocket up here where I can put other accessories that zipper closed. So it gives me plenty of room down here to sort of put everything away. And before I leave the site, I'm never leaving anything behind, because if I look in the case and guess what, that base is missing, we're not leaving until I find that base. So it sort of gives me a visual, if you will, that everything I've used for that particular day is back in the case and I can head back home. It's even big enough where if you take a small battery bank with you, you could slide it at the top, because remember, you can use the Pocket 2 with a USB-C cable and a battery bank to extend the recording time. So a lot of times I'll be out in the field and I'll slide a battery bank in up here, take that with me, and if I've got to record longer than the battery can support it, I'll put the battery bank on it and I'll record a little bit longer. So let me show you everything that fits in there. So there's the Pocket 2, here's the tripod, here's the base with the quarter-inch 20, here's the base for the wireless microphone, here's the wireless microphone, here's the joystick. And again, I got plenty of room for all this. And down the bottom, there's actually two little cutouts. It's hard to see, so I'll do a close-up. Two little cutouts in there for that universal connector for both the Android product and the Apple product. And up top, I've got my windscreen, my dead cat, and you can fit a bunch of other stuff up there. So it's a really nice case. Now, you might look at this and think, okay, it's a little bigger than I'd like to take along all the time. But again, that organizational aspect of it is really important for me. And there are generic cases on the market like this, but if you just open up a case and throw everything in there, you can organize it, but it's going to get banged around inside the case, and you're not quite sure, did I bring everything home with me or not? So by having this case, I can easily organize it and know where everything goes. So when I leave the site for the day, everything fits in the case, and I'm sure that it's coming home with me, which is a really big deal because, believe me, when I had the Pocket 1 in the field, I would leave stuff behind, and then I'd have to call up the people we were working with and say, hey, did I leave a windscreen behind, or do you have my wireless microphone? And I got to go back and pick that up. So that's the case. Again, it's not terribly expensive, but I love the fact that it's crush-proof, so it's protecting everything. Inside, it's got this really nice like felt lining, so everything is protected and it's nestled in its little cutout, and everything's there when I need it. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is screen protectors, because this is super important. So the Pocket 2 has two screens you got to be careful of. There's a screen right there, and there's also a screen on the front, right here in the front of the lens. And both of those can get scratched up. So if you're not careful in the field and you drop it, if that hits something like scratchy, like rocks or something, you're going to scratch that screen. And it's important that you don't, because it's a touch screen. So we've got a kit that actually, let me set this guy in here. We've got a kit here that has screen protectors in it. And these are actual fiberglass screen protectors that are heavy duty. So essentially what you get in the kit is a nice cloth to wipe off both of those screens. You get a wet cloth and a dry cloth to clean them off before you put them on. You get a nice little set of tweezers that you can actually adhere to those screen protectors. And in here you can see there's a couple of different screen protectors. There's another one in here for the front. and there's another one here in the front. So you actually get 2 sets of screen protectors for the complete kit, and you can adhere those on there. And they're a lot like when you have a cell phone, you put a screen protector on your cell phone, you definitely want to do the same thing over here. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is a gimbal lock, because one of the challenges with this is if you're using this case, it works great. You can fold it up, put it back in the case, get it in the case right. I'm going to do a clip on this, but put it in the case right, and then it's locked in the case, and that's great. But that can be a little bit of time consuming to put it in there. It's a little bit big, and I really just didn't like the case. I mean, I think it's a brilliant design, but for me, it's a little bit bigger and bulkier than I like. So what this universal gimbal lock does is, number one, it'll hold the gimbal in place, so it's not going to bounce around. So it'll hold it in position. You basically just slide it down over the camera, and it snaps right there and locks the gimbal. And then you slide this around like this, and you pop this through the little hole right there. And that'll hold it closed. So what it does is it holds the gimbal steady, so it's not going to bounce around, and it protects the screen on the front, protects the gimbal, and it protects the camera glass on the top. And best part is it fits in the case, so you can drop it right in the case and you're good to go. So if you got the kit when included this case here, you're in pretty good shape. But if you didn't get that, or if you've lost this case, or you just want something a little bit simpler, this is the one that I use. And I like that because it's smaller. It fits in my pocket really well. This will also fit the original Pocket as well. We've used that on a couple of the original Osmo Pockets. But I like it because it locks the gimbal in place, doesn't let it bounce around or chatter, and it fits in the kit. So just another option for you there. So those are just 3 of the protection items that we use with the Pocket 2 pretty much every time we leave the shop. Now I've got other accessories I want to talk about. There's a universal mount, a few other things that I'll show you that allow you to use this really easily with a lot of GoPro accessories, and I'll have a clip coming out this week on that. Now what happens is when we test these things, if I like them an awful lot, we'll bring them in and offer them up on the website. And that way you know that we've tested it. It's something we can stand behind. We're going to ship it to you really quick. So I know we've got those available today if you need them. We've got plenty of the cases, a bunch of the locks, and we've got a bunch of these screen protectors as well. So if you check the links below, you can hit the website and pick these up from our web store, and we can send them to you really quickly. We'll get them to you quicker than Amazon. And that was pretty much all I had for today. So if you have any questions about the Pocket 2 in general, or any accessories that I've talked about, drop those in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. We've been off for a couple of weeks working on a bunch of different things around here, a ton of testing. So I've got a bunch of clips that are coming. And again, if you've got questions on this or anything else, drop those below and we'll get back to you. And that's pretty much it for today. So thanks an awful lot for watching. And until next time, happy flying.